Well, hello. Good evening. I'm Jake Spithead Lagoon, a.k.a. the Mighty Hunter. Join me and my sherpa guide Chris as we travel the world in search of the rarest and most dangerous creatures on God's green earth so we can kill them and eat them. Tonight we are after one of the most dangerous and delicious animals anywhere in the world, the North American skunk ape, There are many different types of skunk apes the world over, such as the Honey Island swamp monster, Momo, the green chimp, and the abominable swamp slob, just to name a few.
But none conjures up more fear or flavor than the one we're after tonight. One of the most famous and famously delicious skunk apes out there, the Falcon Monster.
He is a popular beast, with 2 Hollywood movies made about him. And that's why we have decided to pitch camp here alongside Boggy Creek, It is a beautiful morning here, crisp and clean. Chris is somewhere cleaning up after breakfast. We were lucky enough last night to catch the last 2 ivory-billed woodpeckers anywhere in the world. So, this morning, I made woodpecker à la crêpes de l'orange. Stunning breakfast. But there's not a lot of meat on the woodpecker. But it fills you up with pride just knowing that you've eaten something into extinction.
Despite the smell, skunk ape can be quite delicious. To prepare it properly, you first have to remove the 3 stench sacs that gives the animal its distinctive odor. There's one under each arm and another tucked neatly behind his crown and scepter. Once removed, we can take the head, the arms, the legs, and the viscera and toss them right out. The buttocks is usually my favorite, but the skunk ape's rump is stringy and quite frankly, tastes like a Parisian sidewalk. That brings us to the tenderloin. Specifically, this 6 to 8 inch section here. Now that's good eating,
A typical 600-pound skunk ape will yield about 1.5 pounds of good clean meat. It sounds as though our sherpa guide Chris has found some skunk ape spoor. That means we are hot on the trail. Okay, we have now reached the site of the trap, and you can tell because of the stench of the skunk ape spoor. Very powerful stuff, Smells like a little cross between a fermenting baby's diaper and a sumo taint. Let's have a look at the trap, We begin with a perimeter of infrared tripwires here. And another here. So that when the skunk ape walks across this line, it will then trigger 6 spotlights in those trees to making him freeze. Then causing an eruption of sound from this wall of speakers over here, which will begin to blast side 1 of AC/DC's Back in Black. Driving him towards this line here. Then, a column of punji sticks will puncture his enormous feet. So he will stumble around on one good foot back to this point here, where Chris has buried the landmine, and then it's all over. Except for the cooking, In order to camouflage his presence, Chris has smeared ape spoor all over his body. And that is why he will be staying out here tonight. But not to worry. I will be close by in case anything goes wrong. Some of you may be worried about old Chris out there being all alone. But never fear. As a sherpa, Chris has been wrestling yetis to the ground since he was knee-high to a bush baby. Which, by the way, makes an excellent appetizer. Do you hear that? Do you hear that? I can smell him. I can smell him. Well, it is a good thing I brought old Betty here. Oh, sorry folks, but that is about we all have for tonight. You know, we like to starve ourselves for a good 2 weeks or so we will be extra ravenous for the meal when it finally happens. And you know, if you thought skunk ape was good, you should join us next week as we travel to the Isle of Creek for some minotaur, Thank you and good night. Give me back my meat.